My name's Shanice Edwards. I'm an A&R at Since 93 in RCA, which is a part of the Sony Music UK group. We as A&R people deal in conversations, so I have a lot of conversations with managers and lawyers and sort of amazing music colleges and universities, and sort of look online, whether that's playlisting or social media. Just anywhere where music has been made or released, we sort of get a lot of artists come our way, and it's a challenge to really pick the right one, and picking the right one that are going to be really successful artists. So there are a few things that I look for in talent. I would say someone who is super driven and is saying something and wants to say something, or someone that reflects the time. So someone that is out here and sort of is hitting the ground running with a particular scene or a sound. Like those things in the moment are super exciting to me because they reflect what's happening in lots of different sort of ecosystems in the world and communities in the world. And then I think ultimately what I'm looking for is a really distinctive talent, and you just feel it, and sometimes you feel it and it doesn't work out, but the hope is that you feel it and it works out. A lot of artists do covers, and that works for them to help build social media platforms, right? And then they don't do original music, and it's sort of like, as an A&R, it can be hard for you to hear a cover that someone's pitched really, really well and not hear any of their original music. That can be tricky. So just be doing the things that you would want your label to do with you already. We have this conversation all the time, and it's like a label now can't put it on you and say, you're going to be this, you're going to be that, this is the vision, we're going to make this happen. It's collaboration, right? So we're working together for the artist vision. And if you're an artist, you haven't got to have all the answers, but just some sort of basis on what you want to do and taking really small steps to make that happen. And then we sort of come in and amplify the whole thing. So some of the words of wisdom that I would have for aspiring artists would be to be able to be resilient and persevere, and just be free and weird and creative and find your thing. You always sort of see artists that are new looking for what's left and right of them to sort of make a version of. Or you see artists that are new looking at what came 5 years ago to make a version of. And if you look at some of the greats, they weren't looking at sort of what their peers were doing or what people 5-10 years before them were doing. They were really digging into the history and using really interesting music samples or really interesting routes to have success. And I think today, when you're an artist that's new, that's focused on the last sort of 5 to 10 years, and you're not looking at the way more interesting things that were happening sort of 60, 50, 30 years ago, you're, in a way, you're funneling what your creative outlet might be a little bit, because the person 5 years ago did that, and it's not as refreshing for an A&R to see that.